And
well, come on inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
Lombardicus Prime is back at it again. Hey, man. Appreciate y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Shouts out to Bleach Report, holding us down and all that good stuff. Well, let me see. Is my camera mirrored? My camera might be mirrored. Yeah, okay, it's mirrored. Okay, cool. All right, cool. 1, 2, 3. All right, we straight. What's up, y'all? How's it going? Got a little bit of content for y'all today. Be sure you do all the housekeeping stuff. You be sure to hit all the buttons. You be sure to tell a friend about Bleach Report. Shouts out to Bleach Report. And we got a lot of good things coming down the pike, okay? So if y'all enjoy the content that I do or whatever, be sure to hit follow on the Voch Lombardi button. I don't even know what that button even looks like, but just be sure to hit it because you're going to need to hit it and we're going to need to correspond with that later on down the line, all right? Now, a couple things we got on our plate today. Bleach Report tapped me on the shoulder, and I just consider myself to be a streaming extraordinaire. Okay, I have put in enough hours into streaming to call myself an expert or whatnot. So Bleach Report tapped me on the shoulder. It wasn't a hard tap; it was just a regular off-season tap. You know how it is in June and July when there's a whole bunch of top fives, a whole bunch of who are your best Cowboys last season, a whole bunch of 5 Cowboy roster spots that are up for grabs, 5 training camps, but it's that time of the year. So Bleach Report tapped me on the shoulder and they said, Voch, this is what we want you to do. Bleach Report says this: we want you to make an all-time Cowboy list, all the Cowboy greats in this Cowboy list. It's a lot of variables that go into that, right? Because you got to think about the all-timeness, right? And that player's greatness. But here's something that I'm going to give a little twist to. I'm going to make it in context of football evolving and football being different than it was 90 years ago. Because look, man, y'all know there's a Cowboy great, Hall of Fame Cowboy, Johnny Kafelkovich or something, you know what I'm saying? And he was the all-time Cowboy leading rusher for 10 seasons. Boy, he had a rushing season of 400 yards, and he set the NFL ablaze. Y'all know how it go, right? I want to keep in context and think about what classic Cowboy players could play in 2024. That's what a lot of this list is built around. Old players, can they fit now? And that's how we're gonna do it. But I got a little bit of mess too, so I appreciate y'all for being here.
Hey, Bachi.
Appreciate y'all for being here. Got about 115 of y'all in here. Appreciate you. Like I said, if you're new here, thank you for welcoming and all that. But if you are familiar with me, hit the follow button because Bleach Report is doing some new stuff. All right, Bleach Report's doing some new stuff, and when that new stuff gets here, they need you to follow Voch Lombardi so that you can get the notification of when Voch Lombardi goes live. That's going to be pivotal moving forward. All right, so this is what we're going to do with this all-time Cowboy list. I ain't mean to hit y'all in the face like that. I wasn't going to do that. So this is my all-time Cowboy list, okay? But time to look at it yet because I wanted to be messy first. I just showed y'all my list to let y'all know I'm not cheating. I'm not changing my answers, right? This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to find someone else's opinion about what their Cowboy all-time list is. Then I want to compare it to my Cowboy all-time list. And of course, as I'm going through all this, I'm going to give y'all context of why I feel this way. And I'll be going through the chat, all right? Appreciate y'all. Who up in here? All the Smoke 82. Is that Smoke one for you? I don't know. What is it? Popping It. The Paradox. Keanu. B. Williams. Appreciate y'all for being here. All right. Let's just roll down this list and then we'll compare it to mine. All right. So first things first, what we got up here, quarterback Roger Staubach. Okay. Shouts out to Raj, man. Raj got 2 Super Bowls, 71 and 78, I believe. You can't complain about a 2-time Super Bowl winner being your quarterback for the all Cowboy list, but he ain't my quarterback. We'll keep watching. Emmitt Smith, shouts out to Hey, you can't complain when you the leading rusher of everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't think a whole bunch of people gonna have a whole, problem with Emmett being their running back one. Shouts out to him. And chat, this is the first problem. And this is where my list is gonna be different from others. First of all, I don't have a fullback on my list. But man, if you dropped Walt Garrison in 2024, can he hang? That's the point of my whole thing. That's the point of my list being different than the classic Hall of Famers list. Walt Garrison. Hey, look, man, shouts out to him. I've never watched film on Walt Garrison, right? But I'm sure Walt Garrison in 2024 would be weird. But to that context, if I had to pick a fullback, Moose Johnson would fit perfectly in 21 personnel. Okay. Now I don't have fullback on my list, but they got it on theirs. Let's just keep on looking. Michael Irvin, not a bad selection, but we'll talk. Drew Pearson. Might be a little mess right here. Oh, just please, man, just don't crucify me. If you 70 years old in the chat and you was there when Drew Pearson made the catch on San Fran, hey, look, don't hate on me, dog. Don't hate on me. But we talking about the all-time list. We'll talk about it when we get there. Let me see. Who's a regular cornerback in the league right now? I think Cheeto Awuzie smoking Drew Pearson, but let me just move on. Jason Witten, tight end. I can't complain. Rayfield Wright, hey, Hall of Fame offensive tackle Rayfield Wright. Chat, y'all think Rayfield Wright can block Michael Parsons right now? We'll talk. We'll talk when it's my list. Eric Williams, offensive tackle. I can't complain about Eric Williams. Eric Williams would go out there and smoke Reggie White. Reggie White, one of the best pass rushers of all time. I can't complain. Larry Allen, I'll give my spiel on Larry Allen later. This is my problem where I feel like a lot of the older lists tend to move away from current football. Hey, man, look, dog, shouts out to Nate Newton. Nate Newton's doing some great things in Cowboy land and all that. He works for the Dallas Cowboys right now. And Nate Newton, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but a lot of people can make the argument that Nate Newton should be a Hall of Famer. And to be fair to Nate Newton, he was a part of one of the greatest offensive lines of all time. But we'll talk when we get there. Mark Stepnoski, I'm gonna go ahead and upset the 80-year-olds in the room right now. I'm not picking Mark Stepnoski. You want to know why? Because Mark Stepnoski was like 270. He was like 270 pounds. Like he was even heralded as a smaller center. Tyler Linderbaum is a small center, and he's at least like 291. 53 is an ugly offensive line number, ain't it? But we'll keep watching. No chat. Y'all just hang tight. We'll go over my list after we add Too Tall Jones. Shouts out to Too Tall Jones. Okay, so, and look, this part of my problem, right? So their two defensive ends are Ed Too Tall Jones and George Andre. I never even heard of George Andre. And I feel like I'm relatively seasoned in Cowboy defensive endness, but I've never heard of George Andre. Nah, dog, we got to talk, boys. We got to talk. Bob Lilly. Hey, shouts out to the first overall pick, Bob Lilly. I can't complain about Randy White, though. Bob Lilly. Oh, no. Okay, so they got DeMarcus Ware listed as outside linebacker. All right, cool. Do your thing. You can't hate on that. Chuck Howley. Hardy har. Chuck Howley about to go crazy at outside linebacker, chat. Oh, no. Not Chuck Howley. Oh, Leroy Jordan. Oh, chat. Who is that? Wait a minute. Oh, chat. How many times have your granddad told you, oh, back in the day, Leroy Jordan was bad, boy? Hey. Chad, how many of your grandparents or your old daddies, because there's some young daddies that don't know Leroy, but how many of your old daddies or granddaddies or uncles ever looked you in the eye and said Leroy was going crazy back in the day?
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No.
Hey, man, but hey, we ain't gonna hate on Leroy. Hey, somebody, but we'll just keep the party going, and then I'll introduce my list to the party. We'll just cool. Well, can you imagine Leroy Jordan on an island with Christian McCaffrey or something? Boy, we losing by 50. Look at this man. Look at this character. What? Leroy Jordan on an island with Christian McCaffrey or Bijan Robinson is nonsense. Oh man. Mel Renfro. I know he's a Cowboy. Just shouts out to Mel Renfro, but he ain't on my list, dog. I can't complain about Everson Wall. Not Cliff Harris. Chat, y'all see free safety Cliff Harris on the roof? Taking away those air raids. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine playing the Dolphins? Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle tearing it up. And the last line of defense is Cliff Harris. Boy. Oh, man. And it went down special teams and all that. So listen, chat. This is the business is. Yo, that's a long-ass jersey, dog. Yeah, what are those, arm guards? Those the Power Ranger beeper joints. When they got to bing back to Alpha back in the compound, they got to beep. That's impossible. So yeah, chat, this is a goofy little all-time Cowboy list by Elliot Harrison. No disrespect to Elliot Harrison. We don't know him. He might work for Bleach Report right now. We don't know. We don't know. GG says Cliff Harris playing sideline to side. That's madness, boy. I'm about to just give me a second. Let me run through mine. I'm gonna put y'all comments on the screen. All right, now chat, let's run through mine. Here we go. What does Voch Lombardi's all-time Cowboy list look like? And when I think of Cowboy list, an all-time list, some of my biggest rubric that we go by is that I want to know, can you play in any generation? That's part of my problem with Leroy Jordan. It just seemed like this character stumbled upon an idea that Leroy Jordan could just play whenever, but dog, Leroy Jordan's not doing modern day football. Can you play in any era? And of course, I'm projecting to what your future look like, because I think there's some Cowboy players that definitely deserve to be on this list. And if I had to line up and whoop somebody, ooh, Sam Rietta, don't say it. Sam Rietta, don't say it. I got something for you, sir. Sam Rietta, don't move. Sam Rietta, are injuries a factor? If I'm correct, I just want you to just, let me know. Here's my graphic for what my all-time Cowboy team would look like. And this is not built upon accomplishments. This is my all-Cowboys team. This is my all-Cowboys team. Here we go. Let's start top to bottom here. So they decided to go 21 personnel. They went 2 wide receivers, a running back and a fullback. That's cool. That's cool. I want an all-time Cowboy team. So I need to be able to play with current offenses and current defense. In my opinion, I need to be able to play with current defenses. So I need 3 receivers. I need 11 personnel. Plus, what's the point of having Troy Aikman if you can't throw the ball all over the place, right? And chat, at any minute, y'all can tell me if I'm bugging or not. But Troy Aikman is my quarterback. All right. Shouts out to Roger and all that, but passing has definitely evolved over the years, and I think Troy is a better passer than Roger. And look, if we just keep it in the buck here, we can look at Roger and be like, hey, Voch, Roger won 2 Super Bowls. That's fair. Troy won 3. For this, he won 3. So we can't. Let me move the chat over here. No, that ain't moving the chat. Can I move the chat? I can't move the chat. All right, y'all just hang out, do what you want to do. Y'all just hang out, do what you want to do. But if I'm going to be throwing the football and I just think about the better quarterback and I just think about, You know, not the prestige of the first great Cowboys legend quarterback. Sure, Rodgers the first great Cowboy quarterback. Troy's a little better, and he won 3 Super Bowls. I'm rolling with Troy. Emmitt Smith, all-time leading rusher. I don't think that there's a long conversation for us to be having about Emmitt versus, you know, Tony Dorsett or anything like that. DeMarco Murray had a really good year, but he might be third or something like that. I mean, Zeke may be third. Now, chat, DeMarco Murray versus Ezekiel Elliott would be a very interesting conversation. But we'll just, you know, we'll just have a conversation about that at some point. But my 3 wide receivers, I think this is interesting, right? Somebody in the chat says no Lamb is crazy. I feel you. If you're a young character, I can't, you know, if you're a little younger, you may be wondering where CeeDee Lamb is. But if you live through Dez Bryant, if you live through Terrell Owens, and if you live through Michael Irvin, there's probably not a place where a CeeDee Lamb exists here. You remember when we was watching a playoff game, it was like, dang, CeeDee Lamb, why don't you just fight through this route? Boy, I got 3 receivers that can fight through routes. You know, you may look at CeeDee Lamb and, you know, hey, CeeDee, why are you pouting? Where's that competitive edge? Boy, that's 3 receivers that didn't do a whole bunch of pouting. You know, even if you want to look at the idea of like leadership, right? And that shouldn't go into an all-time list, but, and look, when I say leadership, I mean like locker room presence, right? Look, Terrell Owens will rip a locker room apart, but he's at least an active voice at practice. We know that. Michael Irvin, Dez Bryant. I remember the days. Was it Hard Knocks or something? Was it All or Nothing? Dez Bryant just rolling out versus the DBs. You can't guard me. You can't guard me. You can't guard me. It's a lot of reasons why these 3 wide receivers, in my opinion, are better than CeeDee Lamb. Hell, man, T.O. one of the best receivers of all time. If anybody make a best receiver of all time list, T.O. might be top 5 in there somewhere, 6. 2 of these dudes are Hall of Famers. And I think Dez Bryant owns the Cowboy touchdown list, which is crazy considering the other 2 wide receivers on this list. If you was outside for that Tony Dez Bryant run, it was special. And I even have my listings here. Dez Bryant is my X receiver, of course. Michael Irvin is at Z because Dez Bryant is at X. And T.O., which is probably the big play guy. He might be the most explosive. You know, just pure speed guy, you know, better than those guys. T.O. with a 2-way go is ridiculous. T.O. with a 2-way go is ridiculous. But anyway, chat, if I'm tripping, let me know. Let me momentarily take the chat off so we just see this real fast. Just momentarily. Here we go. Jason Witten is my tight end. You know, unless y'all want to make an argument for, there's nobody you make an argument for. There's simply no one you can make an argument for. You know what I'm saying? I know somebody may, you know, consider the idea. What about Voch? What about what's his name? The old tight end in the 90s that was really like a slot receiver or something. Like what about? No, he's not better than Jason Witten. And if we know anything about Jason Witten, he invented himself twice as the not drop the ball guy, and then he evolved into blocking guy. So there we go. Sam Novacek, thank you. Sam Rietta says the magic of T.O. is that you can put him anywhere. That's exactly why he's a slot. And I think T.O. at slot might be even more dangerous, but whatever. It's where the offensive line list gets a little interesting, chat. Let me go back to this other list. Give me a second. All-time Cowboys. Yeah, let me go back to this other list. Rayfield Wright, Eric Williams, Larry Allen, Newton, Mark Stepnoski. Man, I feel you, bro. Man, look, what's my man's name? Elliot Harrison. Look, Elliot Harrison, I feel you, bro. Rayfield Wright is a legend. I get you. And Rayfield Wright had to be lobbied into the Hall of Fame. Like I remember when he went to the Hall of Fame, you know. Okay, so cool. It even says right here, Wright finally got the call from Canton in his 22nd year of eligibility. Boy, it took 22 years, boy. Chat, let's just keep it a buck here. How many years you gonna think it's gonna take for Tyron Smith to get into the Hall of Fame? Tyron Smith is gonna get into the Hall of Fame, in my personal opinion, immediately. In my personal opinion, he's immediately going into the Hall of Fame. I don't think you're wrong about Eric Williams. I don't think you're wrong about Larry Allen. Nate Newton is not better than Zach Martin, dog. Shouts out to Nate Newton. He's not better than Zach Martin. He's simply not. Here we go. Nate Newton had three Pro Bowls. Has there been a season that Zach Martin has not had a Pro Bowl? And my context for Stepnoski is that he's 270 pounds. He's 270 pounds, bro. So if I could just go back to my offensive line here, this is what it should look like. And the only reason I got Tyron at left tackle and not right tackle is because I know Tyron's not good at right tackle. God, DeMarco. I know Tyron ain't good at right tackle. Tyron at left, Larry Allen, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, Eric Witt. It's just so crazy looking at this offensive line thinking we've had 3 of those dudes in recent memory. Like, think about the legend of Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, the legend of those dudes. And yeah, you know, Travis retired early, but Chad, I thought we was keeping it a buck here. I thought we were simply keeping it a buck here. Larry Allen's the best guard of all time, brother, man. I agree. But Larry Allen may be the best offensive lineman of all time. And you talking about a dude, I played offensive line because of Larry Allen. I played offensive line because of Larry Allen. And I came up in the Jonathan Ogden era, Orlando Pace, Tyron Smith, you know, in that Willie Roaf era. You know what I'm saying? I came up with some dudes, man. Walter Jones. I came up with some offensive linemen, bro. Larry's the guy. Zach at right guard, Eric Williams at right tackle. All right, cool. Let's move me over here. I'll cut the chat back on and put me up there. All right. Who's coaching the team? Yeah, probably Jimmy. Actually, chat, let me run back to this list real quick just to remind myself of what was happening here. Brother man had who's this D-line that made me sick? Real fast. His D-line was Too Tall Jones, George Andre, Bob Lilly, and Randy White. Hey man, look, that's a cool D-line, bro. That's a solid D-line with George Andre, Bob Lilly, Randy White, and Too Tall. Chat, let me know when I'm bugging. Charles Haley is better than Too Tall Jones and George Andre. He's just better. Sorry. And brother had DeMarcus Ware at us at outside linebacker, but I'm putting him at defensive end. Of course, you could do hybrid things. You can put him at defensive end. If you want to stand him up, let him stand up. Let him stand up. I don't understand how he leaves Charles Haley off this list. I just don't understand. He got Leroy Jordan on this list, but he ain't got Charles Haley. I don't understand. I don't know. It just seems to be a lot of representation for the 70s Cowboys, and that's cool. That's cool. Shouts out to the 70s Cowboys, but come on, dog. As far as defensive tackle, I don't mind Randy White being there. Randy White tore his era up, and I think him being like a modern day upfield bursty 3-tech, I think that'll be perfect for him. So let's leave Randy White right there. So what it came down to is, Voch, what you gonna do at 1-tech? Bob Lilly or Jay Ratliff? That's the one problem about the Cowboys all-time list. The 1-tech category gets real sparse The one tech list gets real scarce. I said sparse, scarce. It gets real scarce. There's a lot of famine in the one tech room, and I'd be damned if I put. Chat, let me tell you what I almost did. And look, shouts out to Bob Hayes, man. But Bob Hayes small, bro. Bob Hayes ain't playing one tech nowadays. Bob Hayes can't, and that's part of my reasoning. Can these characters play in any era? I don't think Bob Hayes can play right. Bob Hayes can't play one tech in the league right now. That's my point. That's my whole point in that whole thing. Now, chat, I just want y'all to redirect your eyes to Vibranium Knees Sean Lee. And trust me, I'm going to talk about linebackers in a second. Vibranium Knees Sean Lee may have the opportunity, may have the imagination of us of being the best linebacker of all time if his knees didn't hurt. Now, chat, what if we could take that same logic and we apply it to never got in trouble David Irving? Chat. Let me just ask y'all a question, dog. Let me go to the polls real quick. Who would you rather have in 2024? Leon Lett ain't bad, but he might pick up a phone and run the wrong direction. Who would you rather have in 2024? Vibranium Sean Lee let's go right kind of guy. David Irving. Right kind of guy. That's crazy. David Irving. I was gonna put no trouble David Irving, but like, what if he was like Jason Garrett, right kind of guy, didn't get in trouble? David Irving. Chat, vote on it. I just want to see what y'all gotta say about that. I'm just curious. Was a big fan of Dexter Coakley when he was with us. He was cursed with some bad teams, and I agree. It was with the Saints or something. No, Leroy Glover was the Saints. My fault. I like Leroy Glover too. You know, I'm just, trying to make an all-time list. My fault. Put Leon Lett one tag. Yeah. Bob Hayes. The 90s Cowboys were the best. I agree. They won three. Do you have Sean Lee playing Michael Will linebacker? Now, if he's Vibranium, he could play Sam, because if he don't get hurt, fine. But let's just take a look at my linebackers here. Vibranium Knees, Sean Lee, Ken Norton, and Michael Parsons. Now, you could replace Ken Norton with anybody, but hey, Ken Norton's a legend. So, Cowboy linebacker legend, Ken Norton. I saw somebody allude to that win. I wouldn't hate that win neither, but that's just my life, right? But if you go nickel, I'm taking Ken Norton off the field. That's just what I'm saying. But I feel like Vibranium Knees Sean. I can't talk today. Vibranium Knees Sean Lee had the potential to be the best linebacker in the league for however long he played. He could have been the best dude every single year. But injuries robbed that man, dog. Injuries completely robbed Sean Lee of a legendary run. And I'm just up here looking at Sean Lee like y'all remember them days where Sean Lee used to just identify the play and tell everybody to play, and all of a sudden everybody's running in the right direction, and then Sean Lee gets hurt and nobody knows what the hell going on. Rolando McClain would have been an all-pro if Sean Lee was healthy every year that he was playing. Man, come on, dog.
Did you hear what I said?
Man, Rolando McClain would have been a Hall of Famer if he had Sean Lee his whole career, man. And I got Michael Parsons as the outside linebacker. You could blitz him there. You can run him around. Let him do what he wants to do. He's Michael. Put him at Sam. Let him do pass rushy things, whatever you want to do with Michael Parsons. But I feel like Michael Parsons will be one of the better Cowboys that we look back on. Plus, I'm not putting Leroy Jordan over Michael Parsons. I'm just simply not doing it. Let's go back to Buddy's list and see where we agree for the DBs. He has Mel Winfro, Everson Walls, no Deion Sanders, by the way, Cliff Harris, and Darren Woodson playing strong safety. All right. Hey man, Cliff Harris on the roof is crazy. Cliff Harris on the roof is crazy. But chat, let me tell you something. We talking about all-time Cowboys. It was either Cliff Harris or like Ken Hamlin. It was Cliff Harris or Ken Hamlin or Malik Hooker or something. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, I'll just put Cliff Harris up there for the sake of the 70s team that I'm constantly trying to avoid. But I thought it was interesting that Buddy's DB list didn't have Deion Sanders on it. Now, if you want to talk Everson Walls, I can live with Everson Walls because every time we talk about Trey Diggs breaking the record for interceptions in a year, Everson Walls got that record. So I can't hate him, being on his list, which is why I got him on my list. So Everson Walls is there, but not having Deion Sanders on the list is nonsense. Not having Deion Sanders on his list is nonsense. I like George T. I like George T. too. And look, I may take this out and put George T. on it. I might do it, but Buddy really left Deion off of there. Let me show y'all what I'm reading. Cowboys so horrible. We talking about old rosters. Oh well, I understand. I mean, it's July 11th. How about this? What you want to talk about? Let's see. Danny B. Good. What you want to talk about? What's the hot news right now? What's going on? What's the hot news, Danny B. Good? I ain't even got to explain this. I'm getting paid well to talk about this. So it is what it is. But so his little excerpt for putting Mel Renfro, he says among all the cornerbacks that have suited up in a Cowboy uniform, Renfro is second to none.
It's false.
And you can count on one hand how many corners were better. Renfro made 10 straight Pro Bowls, even after Hall of Fame corner Herb Adderley. I know he badly wanted to put Herb Adderley up here. Joined the Cowboys, opposing quarterback still avoided throwing at Renfro. He's not primed up. But it is what it is, man. Prime Everson Walls, who has the interception record with Trevon Diggs. I think they're tied at 11, I believe. And I put Darren as the hybrid safety nickel guy. I don't know how Darren Woodson's not a Hall of Famer. I don't know how he's not a Hall of Famer, but he should definitely be in there by now. But Woody is the guy that all the Cowboy fans are campaigning for to get into the Hall of Fame. And I remember watching Darren Woodson. He played like Darren Woodson's up there with like Sean Taylor in terms of like DB utilization and versatility. So what are we even doing? Chat, y'all got any questions? That'd be good. Say, if I shoot good, we just don't have no good recent news right now. It's not your fault. Well, Dak was hitting the flex at some very rich looking party, and I don't think those rich looking parties would normally play the flex, so I imagine it might be Dak Prescott's party. But hey, if you're rich enough, they'll play the flex wherever. They'll play the flex wherever. What's up with teams? Dan Bailey probably be your kicker. I mean, I was out there for Dan Bailey. I was around for Dan Bailey. Matt McBride. Somebody's probably gonna put Bullet Bob as your kick returner, but I think I would rather go for the man whose name is Rocket. That was Tyron Smith's wedding. Oh, hey, that was Tyron Smith. That's why. I was like, man, at what establishment can you get people dressed like this that look fancy like this with all these young people there and they're playing the flex? But hey, man, maybe Tyron had a DJ and his wife had one. It was probably Tyron's wife's turn. I don't know. Love Troy, but Rodgers the quarterback. Hey, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Let's see. What else y'all got? Y'all got anything else? Man, put Bill Bates then. I ain't putting Bill Bates nowhere on my list. I ain't putting Bill Bates. No. Would you put Roy Williams over Cliff Harris? My only problem is, in this context, your hybrid nickel strong safety guy would be Woody. Roy's not playing free at all. Now, if you want to make an argument that, hey, you could put it to where Woody would play free, Roy play strong, and then when it's time to switch, you know what I'm saying? Cool. But like Roy, if anything, if we talking modern football, Roy Williams playing linebacker for you. If this is now, Roy can play in modern football. If we're making an argument, can these players play in any era of football? Roy could be a free safety in the 70s. He's playing strong safety in the 90s. He's playing linebacker in 2024, and Roy be a cold linebacker 2024. Forget Roy Williams at safety. Give me Roy Williams at wide receiver. I'd rather give you Cole Beasley than Roy Williams at wide receiver. And that's unfortunate because you gave up 2 first-round picks to get him. All right, chat. Love y'all to pieces. Shouts out to Bleach Report. Hey, Bleach Report got some new stuff coming soon. So if y'all going to be regular Bleach Report viewers, hit follow on Voch Lombardi because we're going to be doing some cool stuff for the live streamers. I'm going to be one of them. I'm going to be in the plans. So be sure to follow Voch Lombardi and all that. And tell your friends about the Bleach Report app. Bleach Report about to make some big changes in terms of the video format. So we want everybody to be tuned in on that. Put CeeDee Lamb in. Who you want me to take out to put CeeDee Lamb in? Who you want me to take out to put CeeDee Lamb in? C. Caleb D9. Who you want me to take out before we leave? Who you want me to take out to put CeeDee Lamb in? Make room for a 4th wide receiver. Not gonna be able to do it. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski, the Peace Whiskey. Till next time, Bleach Report. Appreciate you, mate. Salute.